What's going on, everybody? It's your boy T Flame, T Fuego, T Get It Out Till I Can't Get No More. And welcome to today's video. We're going to be doing a tier list on all the Metal Fusion releases, particularly focusing on Hasbro. There's a couple of Karatomi releases in here, which obviously I didn't have as a kid, but they're pretty self-explanatory as to whether or not they're good or not. We'll get to those when we get to those. But mainly we'll be focusing on all the Metal Fusion Beyblades. These are all the Beyblades I grew up with as a kid. If you're a fan of this channel, these are probably Beyblades you grew up with as a kid, because I got a mostly Metal Fight audience. Shout out to y'all. So we're going to be ranking all these. I had to T-Flamify this list, I will say, because, when I first got this list on Tier Make, it was like A, B, C. Nah, I don't talk like that. I mean, I know my ABCs, but I don't talk like that. So break this down. We got GOAT. This is like Supreme. Real good. Only a few Beyblades are going to be in there. I'll give y'all that. I already pretty much, I think, made up my mind with Beyblades are going to GOAT. And if you don't agree, you're wrong. A lot of people may say, oh, this is the best Beyblade. This is the best. Nah, here's the difference. Those are opinions. I'm about to drop facts on y'all. I'm about to factually tell y'all what is the best Beyblades for Metal Fusion, what is the worst. So next we got Solid, which it means it's good. It's not the greatest of all time, but it's solid. It's good. Then we got Mid, which is like Beyblades that aren't incredibly bad, but they're not good. They're like in the middle. You know what I'm saying? They ain't great. They ain't bad. Middle of the road. Bad means they're bad. Like, ain't no more self-explanatory. Ain't no more explanation needed there. It's clear. They bad. Not good. And then we got Trash, which is like below bad, which means if you're bad and you below bad, you got to be real bad. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're gonna be breaking this down, y'all, today. And yeah, we'll see. Let's get into it. So like I said, there's pretty much already pre-established Beyblades and GOAT that I pretty much have already made up my mind about, and we're already gonna just take those and put those in there. We of course got a Lightning El Drago. We got Earth Eagle. That's like these two are undisputable. The GOAT's a Metal Fusion. Now I'm gonna throw Storm Pegasus up there because I mean it's iconic, and really if you hate Storm Pegasus, you were probably only in the West or like didn't know a lot about Beyblade growing up. Because I mean I if this was kid me, Storm Pegasus would be going in trash. But now that I've grown older, I realize Storm Pegasus is pretty solid. It's just growing up, and when you grow up in America, the stadiums we had didn't have any pockets. All attack types are bad. But regardless, once you learn how to use attack types and use actual solid stadiums that actually have, you know what I'm saying, like you actually knock Beyblades out, you realize Storm Pegasus is good. I mean, and it comes with the best attack tip, RF, and it's just iconic. And the other Beyblade, there might be another one up there, but the other Beyblade that's going up to GOAT is Rock Leone. I mean, Kyoya was, in my opinion, one of, if not the greatest character in Metal Fusion. Rock Leone is cool, alright? It's just cool. It is one of the best stock combos ever. I don't care if you say, oh, it's too aggressive. Oh, it's too... Nah, Rock Leone is a solid Beyblade, period. No, there's no debate. Those are the four GOATs of Beyblade Metal Fusion. I mean, it's the reason why these four Beyblades got remade, and they all have burst remakes. Flame Sagittario also has a burst remake, but it is not going to GOAT. It is. We'll get Sagittario when we get it, but it's not going to GOAT. These four Beyblades all got remade in the burst remakes. So I mean, there's a reason why these four are in GOAT. They're just GOAT. Now we got first up. Now we're gonna kind of go in order. Burn Fire Blaze. Burn Fire Blaze, if I'm being honest, is going to go in solid for a couple of reasons. Number one, you can say what you want about Metal Sharp, but in terms of all the sharp tips, I did a video talking about why sharp tips are bad. Of all the sharp tips, Metal Sharp has the most stamina, which is like, if you're going to use a bad tip, you can at least use the best out of bad tips, which is Metal Sharp. But unfortunately, Metal Sharp is banned because it likes to drill holes in stadiums. Back in the day growing up, I mean, my Beyblade stadiums from when I was a kid, I think I threw them all away. They were bad and very beaten up. And so, and then not only that, because growing up we ain't really have, all Hasbro stadiums were just circles, no real pockets of knockouts and stuff like that. Fire Blaze was like, that Metal Sharp tip was on Earth Eagle level, right? It was on Earth Eagle level. And let me read. Speaking of which, I'm just gonna readjust that. Honestly, now, even though these are all in GOAT, Leon is my like my favorite Beyblade of all time, really, pretty much. So it's gonna go in GOAT, like top of GOAT. Anyway, Burn Fire Blaze, and not to mention the Burn Fusion Wheel is one of the best stamina / defense fusion wheels ever. Sorry, I need to drink some water. Water break. Make sure you stay hydrated. We stay hydrated around here. You know what I'm saying? We stay hydrated. So make sure. But anyway, Burn is one of the greatest stamina wheels. Period. So like, you get a lot of value with Burn Fire Blaze. It's a solid Beyblade. Dark Bull's gonna go in mid. I love Bull. Bull is a top tier energy ring. Horn 145 is the main selling point of this Beyblade because it gives aggression to lower, like, if you put the horns on any spin track, or in any Beyblade, it allows it to attack Beyblades that are beneath it, right? But it has no stamina, and the dark wheel is really bad. I mean, it sucks at stamina because there's too many like rough points ish. Semi defense is solid. The tip it comes with is solid, but really, Bull, the energy ring is great. The horn spin track is great, but also the horn spin track is very, very fragile. So, and this guy is like low key one of the more expensive Beyblades to get because he was only released once in Metal Fusion and then once in Metal Fight Beyblade. So this is actually a relatively rare Beyblade, meaning it's a little bit more on the expensive side, which is another reason why I put him in. Oh, by the way, this tier list is going to be my own reasoning, which is why it's facts, because I'm giving y'all whatever I say, and whatever I say is factual. But like, there's a couple of reasons why I'm going to break down why Beyblades are in the tiers that they are. You can be like a couple of factors: competitive, good, nostalgia, stuff like that. But basically, I'm going to try to get y'all, I'm going to try and get us the most well-rounded reasoning as possible as to where I'm putting stuff. So, like I said, Dark Bull's going to go in mid. Dark Gasher is going to go... It's going to go at... You know what? I'm going to say Dark Gasher is going to go in solid. Now, listen. Like Dark, this has two solid parts. You got the Cancer Energy Ring, or the Gasher Energy Ring, and then you also have CH120. Now, you can talk about that those are the only two solid parts on Dark Gasher, CH120 and the Energy Ring. But CH120 is a whole lot better than H145. CH120 is used a lot more competitively, being able to switch heights, that's crazy. And this was like, I think, because this guy came out before El Drago, this was like the first mode switch we saw in Beyblade Metal Fusion, and that was crazy, that was tight. And so, you know, Dark Gasher together isn't the greatest, but the energy ring is heavy, and that spin track, dog, is something crazy. So, I think solid. It's got to go in solid, man. Especially because we got some other Beyblades. Like, I can't, like, even though you say, oh, could go in mid, I think it's going at the bottom of solid. So, any of the Beyblades in solid are going to go ahead of Gasher. But it's just, I can't put it down here with Bull. Like, I can't put these two together because you get a lot more value out of Gasher than you do Bull. Even though it says semi-defense is solid, so technically it means you 3 parts on Bull, I'd rather have a CH120 and Cancer Energy Ring than a Bull Energy Ring H145 and semi-defense. I'd rather have a CH120, you know what I'm saying? Dark Wolf is gonna go in bad. Now, Dark Wolf was a crazy Beyblade growing up. I don't know why, but in stock combo, this guy was always fun when I was growing up. I never had one growing up, but I mean, obviously I do now have all the parts for Dark Wolf. But, and I kind of, you know, wait, no, that's a lie. I did buy a Dark Wolf a couple years ago. But growing up, this Beyblade was always fun to battle with, like against people. I don't know why this Beyblade was good when I fought it. But anyway, the reason why it's going in bad is, even though in my childhood would probably put this in solid, the reason it's going to go in bad is because the Wolf Energy Ring is the best thing out of this Beyblade, and that's it. DF145 is not great. Zero Use Sunday might be coming on DF145/TR1. The Tornado, any wind spin track might have a Zero Use Sunday coming together, like one of those compilation ones. But really, you get an energy ring. Dark is bad. Flat Sharp FS is not great. It's essentially what is it? The new thing that just came out on Leon Claw. It's like Point. It's not great. So yeah, Dark Wolf is gonna go. In terms of the anime though, if this was based off the anime, it'd probably go up in solid, bro, because Doji was crazy. Next we're gonna go Earth Virgo. That's gonna go up to solid. You essentially get all the benefits of Earth Eagle, except this would be in GOAT if it came with a better spin track. I mean, not spin track, performance tip, because you have the best stamina / defense fusion wheel in Earth, and you got GB145 giving you crazy weight. But the main thing that kills this Beyblade is the tip being a sharp, which means it can get knocked off balance easily. But because of the other parts, Earth Vertigo can still hang with some real good Beyblades in stock battles. It's still one of the better stock battle Beyblades. And you get an insane amount of value. Earth Vertigo is one of the more expensive Beyblades there is now, but GB145 is a great part. Earth is a great part. Essentially, you come with all great parts, and it's almost on the tier of Earth Eagle. Now, if Earth Virgo even has some like the defense performance tip, or even semi-defense, or like if it got wide defense, this Beyblade would probably be. This Beyblade probably would have been better than Earth Eagle growing up if it had wide defense, but it doesn't. But regardless, this Beyblade is solid. Honestly, I think I'm going to put Earth Virgo over Burn Fire Blaze, just because I think you get more value out of Virgo than Fire Blaze. But it's still solid, Evil Gemios is going to go in. It's going to go in bad. I don't know why both these Beyblades have pretty much the exact same combo. The only difference is the fusion wheel, DF145 FS. I felt like it was a lot more common. I don't think any other Beyblades had this. Wait, no. I think Pre-Hybrid Wolf and Pre-Hybrid Gemios both had DF145 FS. Which is like, that is like, I don't know why those parts are used on multiple releases. They're not great together. And so, Evil Gemios, I'd probably say it's worse than Dark Wolf. The Evil Wheel is like, in theory, should be great for stamina because it has a very thin point of contact. But it's not great. I did a Zero Sunday on it. It's not great. You can try to get some attack usage under this guy because it has that underlip thing. But regardless, Evil Gemios is not bad. I mean, not great. It's pretty bad. It might be going down the trash. You know what? Depending on how bad the tier gets, it might pop down the trash. Flame Sagittario is gonna go in the bottom of mid. Now, a couple of reasons. This might upset people. I don't think it should. Claw 145 is not great. In terms of aggressive, if you want a spin track from below that can attack lower Beyblades, use H145. Or it's not on this list because it didn't come out to Metal Masters. R145 is great for that. Claw 145 is horrendous. Just because you lose so much stamina by doing it. I had the idea that, like, if you know Beyblade sparking with the Lucifer Beyblade that has the bear claws where it's like the points stick out and it's horrible in same spin, but in opposite spin it could spin steal. I was thinking maybe Sagittario, because the flame claws kind of do the same thing, except they're plastic and not rubber. Maybe it could do the same thing. Claw just won't do it. Mainly because when you start losing stamina, the claws are going to scrape. And the claws just don't do anything. They're not great. The flame wheel is great, but Sagittario is a good energy ring. Kinda. It has decent weight to it. But all the other parts are really bad. So because of that, it's going to have to go to mid. Just because, I mean, Sagittario, the flame wheel is great. I mean, in terms of stamina, I guess it's not bad, but it's just not, honestly, I want to put it in bad, but the flame wheel is actually kind of good, so, I don't know, it might go down to bad as we get some more, Beyblades in here. Flame Libra, on the other hand, is probably going to go at the, I'm trying not to be that biased. You know what? F it. This is my list. Flame Libra is in solid. Why? ES is far better than Sharp. It's not great, but it's good enough. This Beyblade has good stamina. It can get knocked off balance very easily, but the stamina is great. And if you need Flame, get Libra over Sagittario because you get more value. Libra Energy Ring is great. Is this nostalgia talking? Probably. I'll put it at the top of mid. Let me just be real. I'll put it at the top of mid. It's gonna be like Libra and Sagittarius. I think are both in similar boats because they are both not great stamina types. But I personally think Libra's better than Sagittarius. I think Eternal Sharp's better. Both of them can get knocked. I will say Claw 145 does kind of help Sagittarius take hits from below so it doesn't get knocked. I feel like Libra gets knocked off balance easier than Sagittarius, but Libra I think has better stamina. Anyway, next, there's no debate where Poison Serpent goes. It goes into trash. This Beyblade in the anime, if this was anime again, anime Poison Serpent, GOAT. Why? Because it's solid. Like, it's one of the coolest. Reggie is one of the coolest characters in all of Metal Fight. Sucks he was not brought back. It would have been dope if we saw him in Metal Fury. Like I said, I think I did a video talking about like how I would give Poison Serpent an evolution kinda in my 4D evolutions video, which you should check out if you haven't already. One of my popular videos on the channel, by the way, so you gotta go check it out. But I say that, like, I think Metal Fury should have been a combination of all the people from Metal Masters and Metal Fusion coming together to fight Nemesis. I think that would have been better, tying the first 2 seasons. It does kind of do that, but there are way too many new characters introduced. So I think it would have been better to have a lot of old characters introduced. I think Poison Serpent deserved an evolution. But this is me talking about the potential of Poison Serpent. Not actually Poison Serpent itself. Poison Serpent is hot garbage. The poison wheel is bad. I tried to use on Zero Sunday, still doesn't really work. It's bad. S145 is solid enough. It gives a decent amount of weight to the blade. And then you have semi defense, which is a good stamina tip. But it's just, this Beyblade is bad. There's no reason to buy this. S145, I mean, it's okay, but I can't suggest you buying it for S145 because I feel like you get S145 on other releases, or like, I don't even know how. I got a couple of S145s and it's just from buying lots and stuff. So I think S145 you can get it, but like, it does not warrant, you don't buy this Beyblade because you need S145, because you should buy something else for it. Like, S145 does not that great of a part, okay? And if you don't have semi-defense, I don't know what to tell you, but like, you shouldn't buy this Beyblade for semi-defense and S145. It is not worth that. The only way you should buy this is if you're like, for collection purposes. I mean, even then, this Beyblade looks crazy. It looks sick. The poison wheel has like, the poison wheel matches with the serpent wheel. Like, it looks like there are snakes in it. The Beyblade is just horrendous. It's bad. Can't make any use out of it, really. The Serpent Energy Ring is good weighting, but I can't recommend buying this Bey. Because, I mean, like, there are other heavier things that I wouldn't recommend it. Now, I will, like, wait, hold up. We have Clay Ares. Now, Clay Ares, Wind Aquario, and Mad Gasher all go to trash. Reason why, okay, you may say, oh, you just did Dark Gasher. Alright. These wheels were on here, so I had to put the Metal Fusion versions. Basically, Hasbro released Takara Tomy initially released, as you can see in the anime, they initially released Mad Gasher, Wind Aquario, and Clay Ares. Clay Ares and Wind Aquario in the anime are the plastic wheels, right? So these are made out of plastic. And Mad Gasher in the anime too is made out of plastic. But Tetsuya gets his Beyblade evolved into Dark Gasher. It's actually, I believe, the first evolution we see in Beyblade Metal in Metal Fight. I believe it's the first evolution we see in the anime. But so all these Beyblades are made out of plastic completely. And so Hasbro never released the plastic ones, so they kind of took the blades that were similar enough to them. So Wind is very similar to Storm. They made it Storm Aquario. Clay is extremely similar to Rock. Personally, I think Clay more resembles Counter than Rock, but it's close enough resemblance to Rock. So they made it Rock Ares. And then Mad Gasher they just never released because Dark Gasher, right? But I think if Mad Gasher never evolved, they probably still would have done Dark Gasher. But all these are in trash. They all have really cool parts though. Like this has, I'd probably put, like I said, CH120 is great. So I put CH120 right there. Then we got HF-S with Aquario, solid part. That tip is solid. And then we got ED145. A couple of ways to get that. But anyway, I gotta say, pretty solid. I gotta go to the bathroom. Hold up, be right back. Alright, getting back into the... Where did I put my Green Bay hat? Well, I said it somewhere. But getting back into this, now we got Rock Aries. Rock Aries is going to go in the top of mid. It's going to go in the top of mid. Eternal Defense Spin Track. The Eternal Defense Spin Track, I like it. Rock is one of my favorite fusion wheels. And honestly, as a defense type, this guy was solid back in the day. Because the Eternal Defense Spin Track, even though when the Beyblade tilts, it was great, it still added weight, and Rock Aries was able to take hits. So, oh, excuse me. I just ate after recording this, so I'm a little gassy, you know what I'm saying? Sorry about that. But I think Rock Aries has enough to be a solid defense type, even though I believe it's classified. Takara calls it a defense type. Hasbro calls it a balance type. But I believe in the Metal Fusion games, it's even listed as a defense type. Basically, it's a defense type. If it's a balance type, that means it leads towards defense. Maybe it mixes stamina and defense. The worst part about this guy, the tip ball, it's essentially like a wide sharp, to be honest. It's not great. It causes the Beyblade to knock over it easily, but I think the other parts on the Beyblade kind of help it a lot. I will say the most common Rock Aries that people have nowadays is the black one because of the ways it is easier to get. But so the black's Rock Aries that comes with the defense tip rather than the ball tip. Now that one we're probably going solid because the defense is better than ball. But regardless, I think Rock Aries is a solid release. Storm Aquario. I'm gonna go. We're gonna go mid as well. Why? Because I think HFSS, when you put it on the HF mode, is probably the most aggressive. One of the more aggressive sharp tip. I mean, flat tips. The reason why this guy's not great though is because the sharp mode is horrendous. You're gonna get knocked over easy, and then the whole flat tip is very easy to knock over. But the versatility with it is solid. The whole flat on HF-S, it's like it is really fast, and I like the aggression on it. So I gotta say it's mid. I don't know if it's better than Rock Aries, but I gotta say mid. Now Rock Orso D125 ball, I'm gonna put in solid. Why? Rock Orso is probably the best stock defense type other than like Leon / Eagle. I think this guy, honestly, I'm going to put this guy on the top of solid because the Rock Fusion Wheel is great. It comes with D125, which is a great spin track. Nice, low, not really mid. I would consider D125 still low. And then the Rock pairs really well with D125. D125 on Rock, or just D125 in general, it helps add defense to the Beyblade because not really low Beyblades attack it, but what D125 I've noticed does is it can catch on the ridge of the stadium. So if the Beyblade's going to get knocked out, like, I'll give you an example. So if the Beyblade's getting knocked out, you see this little ridge right here? D125 is good at catching itself on this little ridge right there. So that adds defense, but Orso also is a really heavy energy ring, and overall, even though it comes with the ball tip, which holds it back, I still think it is a solid defense type. You're getting a good energy ring with good weight. You're getting D125, one of the best spin tracks in the game, especially for like lower heights. You know, I use a lot of Beyblades D125, or is it D120? One of them, but I just think it's a really solid defense Beyblade. And if you had Rock Orso growing up, you know. I went up quite a few against Rock Orsos on the playground. These guys took hits. These guys were solid. Rock Scorpio is going to go right next to Rock Orso. I think Rock Scorpio, the only thing that holds it back is the energy ring is, I believe, the lightest energy ring ever. But Jog Ball is great, let me tell you. It is, well, I know I did a video saying ball tips are mid, but Jog Ball is like an aggressive wide ball, which is like, if they gave Jog Ball to Leon would have been like I already have Leon above Rock Scorpio, but I'm saying like with Jog Ball is like it fits Rock Leon because it's aggressive but defensive. Because you have a good amount of like balance with it, but you also get a good amount of aggression. And Rock can take advantage of anything that can generate recoil. So when you have a little bit of an aggressive tip, which is what Jog Ball gives, it pairs nicely with Rock. Personally, I think if they gave Scorpio D120, we would be having a real good defense Beyblade. But I gotta say, Rock Scorpio is dope. I lost this Beyblade a lot growing up. If I ever battled in a stadium, so yeah, I think it's solid. You know what I'm saying? Storm Capricorn, yeah. It's probably, Storm Capricorn has a good. You know what? Actually, Storm Capricorn can actually beat all three of these because the plastic Beyblades, if they get touched once, they die. So if Storm Capricorn misses, then it will lose. But if it touches these Beyblades, it'll win. I think I got to do a battle between Storm Capricorn and Poison Serpent to see which one's worse. Because Poison Serpent, if it just touches a Beyblade, it'll die. Like, it'll keep touching, and then it'll be dead. But Storm Capricorn speaks for itself. Everybody knows why this Beyblade's bad, imbalanced. Everyone trashes on this Beyblade. Do love Capricorn, but it's just not great. Thermal Pisces is going to be the quintessential. This is going to be the definition of mid right here. Thermal Pisces. Why? Because it's essentially Libra. It has TR1 I keep saying TR. T125, the Tornado one with Eternal Sharp, just like Libra. But Thermal is a good spin track. I mean, a great fusion wheel because it's sloped, which helps. Because it's sloped, it helps to stabilize Beyblades. It's heavier than Flame, and Flame has that raised part, which makes it easier to knock off balance. Thermal is raised slightly, but not nearly noticeable enough to be thrown off balance like Flame. So it's a lot better for stamina. And so I believe this Beyblade is not as destabilized as easy as Libra. Has some solid stamina to it, but because it has a sharp tip, it still gets knocked off balance easy. It's not great, but I gotta say, it's pretty mid. Thunder Libra is going to go up to solid. Why? Because it is essentially our version and pretty much the only legal way to use Thunder or the pre-hybrid Libra shape for a long time. Really round, on the same level as Earth. To be honest, Thunder is a really great fusion wheel. I mean, it's based off pre-hybrid Libra, which was banned. Video could have come soon on Thunder at some point. It doesn't have a lot of weight like Libra, but it has enough weight like pre-hybrid Libra, but it has enough weight. Stock combo isn't great. It's D145BS, but the fusion wheel is going to carry this guy a lot. Heavily recommend if you don't have it already. Inferno Sagittario is going to go down to bad. Why? I mean, Inferno Sagittario, honestly, is a really cool looking Beyblade. I wish in the anime it was Inferno Sagittario instead of Flame, because Inferno is more aggressive, it looks cooler, but it's more aggressive and it's a stamina type. It's an aggressive Beyblade on a sharp tip, so you know what that means? It dies from its own recoil. The sharp tip needs to stand upright, which is why stamina types are generally round. But when your stamina type is not round and aggressive, when it hits and generates recoil, it'll knock itself off balance. It essentially knocks itself off balance, which is kind of funny to me. And it's tall. It's 145S. This Beyblade is horrendous. It gets knocked off balance very easily, and it can't recover from its own attacks, because each attack it does to the other Beyblade is going to cause itself to like fall. So Love Inferno, I think it could be good for attack, but it is also light and raised. So Inferno is like not the greatest for attack, and plus it's like, why use Inferno when you can use Storm, Lightning, Rock? Like, even if you could use it, there's so many better options. Hyper. Now, these Beyblades, Oh, I think that's pretty much all of the Metal Fusion stock Beyblades, like the main releases. But these next Beyblades are the Legend Series Beyblades, which were... I did Thunder Libra and Inferno Sagittario. We reviewed a couple of those. But these Beyblades were... I mentioned this already, but these were the pre-hybrid Beyblades that Hasbro released as hybrid Beyblades. So basically, they took the pre-hybrid Beyblades and modified the metal so that way it could have an energy ring. A lot of these Beyblades were interesting. Hyper is going to go at the bottom of Solid. Hyper is really good. It's like, it has the same shape as pre-hybrid Aquario, which is a top tier attacker. The only reason why it's in Solid and not higher is like the bottom of Solid is because it doesn't have the weight. Because of the way Hasbro does things, of course they change weight a lot. That's the thing with Hasbro a lot of the time with a lot of their releases. This Beyblade did not have the weight that the original pre-hybrid Aquario does, so it struggles in that regard. But regardless, I do say the Hyper Wheel will never not be great. That shape is always going to be good and aggressive, so it's a top tier attacker for sure. It's just not the weight is going to be what's holding it back. Fury Capricorn is going to go in bad. Why? It has, 105 HF. Whole flat is a really good part. Capricorn has good weight to it. Fury is horrendous. Zero Sunday coming out on it soon. I don't even know if it's going to work. Fury has this weird shape where it doesn't really know what it wants to be. It has an upper design, but then it's like kind of has this side. It is just not great. The weighting on it is weird. It's just the pre-hybrid Capricorn already wasn't good. So this thing, it's not good. It's not, the shape is weird. Doesn't have enough weight. If Capricorn had something crazy, which is why I'm glad we got Spiral Capricorn, which is actually pretty much the best Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? But Sphere Capricorn is just bad. Zero Sunday video coming out on it too. The only reason why it's not worse than Inferno is because at least it can kind of like do something, whereas like it I don't think it'll ever get like good attacks, but like it's not like all the stuff it does, like attacking other Beyblades isn't like Inferno Sagittario damages itself so every time it battles. So honestly, I'm gonna put Inferno Sagittario at the top of trash thinking about it, because I was thinking like Inferno Sagittario might lose to Poison Serpent. I'm gonna have to do a video talking about battling these guys to see which one's really the worst. Night Virgo is gonna go at the bottom of Solid. Why? Because for the Virgo pre-hybrid was very rare, very hard to get, still very hard to get. Night is the budget version of that pre-hybrid Aquario shape, which is, pre-hybrid Aquario. Pre-hybrid Virgo shape, which is very round, but it has this like upper design, which is really solid, really good for stamina. If you can't get the original Virgo pre-hybrid, which I don't have, get Night. Midnight. Not Midnight. This is Night. Bull has Midnight. This is just Night. Night is really good, solid, smooth, really good for stamina. I do want to do a video on Night. I don't think I've done a video on Night yet, but Night is very solid. So it's a very good stamina wheel, round. And if pre-hybrid Virgo is good, this is also going to be like, it's the same shape. It just doesn't have the same weight with it, which I recommend you could probably just throw some like, maybe throw a Bull Energy Ring and a Metal Face on there and you'll be fine. Torch Aries. We're going to have another trash contender. I'm not sure what to put it. I'm just going to put it, I think I might put it above Capricorn. Why is Torch Aries bad? So Torch Aries is pre-hybrid Aries. Like I've said, a lot of the Legend Beyblades where Hasbro took pre-hybrid Beyblades and made them hybrid, a lot of the problems with them have been weight. Pre-hybrid Aries was already light, so if you make it lighter, it's gonna get even worse. And this was me a defense type, but this guy is light. This guy can get pushed over easy. What are you defending? Like this guy can't hold anything. He's supposed to be a defense type, but hey, you know what? This is actually a defense type. I know it's like Rock Aries was like, oh, it's a balance type. This is actually labeled as a defense type. So it's like, what are you defending against? Am I supposed to, like, if you nudge this Beyblade, it'll knock over. Which is unfortunate because Aries are like goats. They're supposed to have like horns on it and stuff. But like, This guy is bad. It's very bad. Don't use this guy. The weight on it is horrendous. I think Ares is also a light energy ring, so it's just, yeah, it's bad all around. Bull, Midnight Bull is gonna go at the bottom of mid. I love Midnight. Don't get me wrong. I love Midnight. Midnight is, I like it. I was gonna say it's great, but no, I like Midnight. Midnight is hollow and light. Pre-armored Bull already struggles from weight, and so when you hollow it out more, Midnight is fun to use. It has a lot of recoil, but it's too light, so it usually recoils itself. It doesn't have enough weight to sustain its own recoil, which I think it's a fun Beyblade to use, no doubt. But it's just, it's not, it has issues. Cyber Pegasus, we have two of them. We have the Legend version and the game version / anime version. I think the only difference between these two is that I think this one, my phone ringing? No, I thought my phone was ringing. This one has 105F, whereas this one has 100 HF, which means this has the, and this usually the video game one comes with a metal face. So the video game one is going to go, honestly, I think this is the definition of solid right here. Cyber is probably the greatest, or one of the greatest attack wheels we got growing up. It was far better than Storm, but I mean, the stock combo is great. I'm gonna put, I mean, flat is not as good, so I'm gonna put this one at the bottom. But regardless, both of these are great. Cyber is a great attack wheel. It has a good, it's round 2, so you get some good stamina out of it. But this guy is really good for attack. Honestly, I want to put this in GOAT. You know what I think? No, I'm not gonna put this in GOAT. The original Cyber from the game, though, that was also the only game bay. There was 3 game bays: Bakusen, Susanoo, Counter Leon, and Cyber Pegasus. The only one that showed up in the anime was Cyber Pegasus, and it looked solid. Except in the anime, it was only called Cyber because even though this is Cyber Pegasus, I don't think they wanted to confuse it with the original Pegasus. But if this was the main character's Beyblade, it would be cooler because it was actually a good stock combo. But solid Beyblade all around. HF is great. Cyber's good. Even though Cyber doesn't have as much weight as pre-hybrid Pegasus, it still has a good amount of weight, to the point where I don't think the weight difference is that noticeable. Both of them are solid. Next we have the Leons. Counter Leon is going to go up to GOAT just because it looks the coolest. It is my favorite looking Beyblade. It's right next to Leon. This is nostalgia bait. Alright, Counter is bad, but it comes with the metal face. Even though this one doesn't have a metal face, the face bolt looks really cool. I think I like this face bolt with the lion facing you more than the original Leon face bolt, but regardless, it's cool. I'm tired. So, yeah, that one's gonna go up there because I feel like it. The actual Counter Leon, though, I'm going to put in mid. I think I'm gonna put it like here because I think it can beat all the Beyblades below it. Like, I think it could beat Storm Carrier, My Struggle, but I think it should pretty surely it could beat all these other Beyblades. Counter's not great. Like I said, like a lot of these wheels lost weight because of how Hasbro changed it, modified it to be able to have an energy ring. It doesn't have, and also the original Leon had a lot more recoil with the points it had. This one points are not as sharp like the indents, like this in between point right here. So you got this little big thing, and then you got, you got this little thing, and you got this little thing, and the point in between is what I'm talking about. That point is a lot more recoily on the pre-hybrid one. But anyway, last one, Bakushin Susanoo. If you did not know, the first one did come out during Metal Fusion with the video game, and that is gonna have to go at the top of solid because Bakushin is one of the best wheels for defense and also for attack. That upper shape is great, but this guy's goated. Bakushin is a great energy ring, and it was re-released later because of how cool it was. But anyway, this is my tier list. I'm gonna hide my camera so that way you can see it. But this is my Metal Fusion tier list. We got GOAT, solid, mid, bad, trash. Let me know what changes y'all would make, and I'll tell y'all why y'all wrong. But this is my tier list, honestly. Yeah, thank y'all for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next video. Let me know how I would change this, if you'd recommend any changes, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.